Let's do a grand final, the last series of our 2021 season, with the new world champions racing off against an American team. You may have heard of them, Quad Force One. And Raiden would love to end this with a big win in the grand final and complete it all. And Quad Force One would love to win this because they haven't won one yet so far this season. Vincent Mines and Konstantin Sonnentag against Mason Lively and Cal Reefsnyder. These pairings are the opposite way around than they were before. So we had Mines and Sonnentag together, but they weren't racing Lively and Reefsnyder as they are now. So let's see the other mix of all these pilots and what they can do. I love how this has worked out. We go charging around Bylong. 2 laps between these pilots, then 2 laps between the others, and then one big heat to finish the season. Mayans charging to the front and Sonnentag coming to join him. But let's take a look as Cal Reefsnyder, Fiddy Cal, is up into second. And Silas Aaron, sorry, I beg your pardon, Mason Lively, 2 seconds behind everybody else. Hyper was flying very well on this earlier on, and Sonnentag has had a bit of a bumpy ride from time to time. Cal Reefsnyder, 0.4 of a second behind Vincent Mines. He's a world champion, don't you know? Now they're racing down through this part, through the DCL, the Warriors pathway, not a problem. Back over the river, Fiddy Cal trying to move up, but that 0.4 of a second is still remaining. That gap not really getting any closer now. Eldman heading towards the trees. If there's any mistakes around the corkscrew here, that's the only thing that could really separate them. Mines makes it. Reefsnyder doesn't, but is the only person who can catch him. It is teammate Mason Lively. Sonnentag comes in 4th. So these teams who tied in the round robin, they've gone and tied in the first race of the grand final as well. 5 points all out of that one. David Modig, Gabriel Barrasso against Silas Aaron and Levi Johnson. Again, these pairs didn't race each other earlier on in the round robin. So we've got the team captains from each team, Modig and Aaron racing off here. Then after this, the big heat. But can either team pull a small advantage right now? Let's find out. Modig and Barrasso charge to the front. Aaron and Johnson, 1 or 2 tenths of a second behind them. Johnson perhaps slipping a little bit more as we've gone into the Warriors pathway, and he's having a little bit of a bumpy ride. Modig at the front, Barrasso flying very well for them. Modig having not scored as many points as he did yesterday, neither has Barrasso so far. Been a little bit of an inconsistent day for this team, but they've had a lot of pressure on them, of course, and now they get to enjoy themselves. It does seem like the training wheels have come off here. Barrasso flying away from Modig, both of them flying away from Quad Force One, but Silas Aaron, their team captain, hasn't given up yet, although he's just lost a little bit of time. Modig, Barrasso into the slalom, chasing out over the trees to the corkscrew with a good gap between them and Quad Force One. Now, who's going to make the win out of these two? It's not going to be the captain. Barrasso's going to beat him. Longcat's got a big smile on his face as they enjoyed that challenge between themselves. Propskull and Leviathan coming in 3rd and eventually 4th. Raiden now got a bit of a lead ahead of the last race of the season. So now we go for our last race, ladies and gentlemen, of the 2021 season. Sit back and enjoy it, or get out of your feet and scream at the tellies. I don't mind either way. But it will be Raiden against Quad Force One in a big heat to culminate our season. And Modig wants it. And Raiden are all ahead of Quad Force One. But then you look at the times and go, yeah, do you know what? They're all basically sharing atoms as they fly through the gates. There's not much space between anyone here. Aaron charges for Quad Force One through all of the pack of Raiden's yellow drones and goes to the front with Mines and Barrasso just slightly behind him. Then Reefsnyder, Sonnentag, Mason Lively, Levi Johnson, David Modig completing the lineup here. Quad Force One would love to get enough points out of this to beat Raiden Racing outright, as they haven't won a virtual drone Grand Prix this season. They might get this one, but to do it, they've got to at least win and get quite a few more points beyond that as well. At the moment, Barrasso and Mines have got something to say about it. They're not too far ahead of Aaron, but they are ahead of Aaron. And Aaron, then Reefsnyder down in 3rd and 4th. We're on board with 5th place Konstantin Sonnentag to get their view, but up the front, Vincent Mines sees Barrasso just in his peripheral vision as he weaves his way down through the Breitling Gate, and remembers it's 3 laps. So he charges along here. Konstantin Sonnentag, as we were watching now, he's got Reese Snyder in front of him. Aaron's a little way ahead of that, but Ryan's is still in front of him. Maybe we can go on board with Silas Aaron, who's leading the charge for Quad Force 1, who's now been passed by Sonnentag and Barrasso. Reese Snyder's moving up through it as well. It's all starting to come a little bit undone for Quad Force 1 here. And Modig is at the back of it for Raiden Racing. He won't want to finish there. But there's not much time for him to do anything about it. Mines gets another win. There goes Thunder. Barrasso comes in second, and it's a 1-2 for Raiden. Look at Vincent Mines celebrating, as he should. It is a big win for Raiden over Quad Force 1 to end things 19 points to 11. A big win over that team. When these two teams raced in a final earlier on, it was not that one-sided. Congratulations, the Drone Grand Prix winners and the Drone Champions League World Champions of 2021 from Japan, Raiden Racing!